Hey everybody, ACURA here. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Alright, so my weekend has just begun, and I figured what better way to kick it off than let's get right back behind the wheel and jump back out into the highway and put some more miles on this old truck. So I think what we'll do here is our goal here is to try to avoid as many fines as possible and actually make it to our destination on time. So what a novel concept. So let's see what's available here for us. Freight market, yes please. Where are we at right now? Let's take. It looks like we're down here in Oxnard. Okay, let's take a look at what jobs we've got available here. A couple were nice opportunities. It looks like we got some fertilizer. It smells like a winter to me. We'll head up to Redding, California. We got fertilizer, sand, colors. What the heck's colors? Just you open it up and there's just a rainbow inside the boxcar. Flour, yeah. Let's do the fertilizer. Looks like it's going to pay the most too. I wonder what the price per distance is. Fertilizer's the winner there as well. So, oops. Let's pick that one. Let's go pick up this load here. Hopefully things are. Well, my TrackIR feels pretty good. That's my brakes, and yeah, everything seems pretty good. Okay, we're not hooked up to anything, so that's a good thing. Let's get moving here. I think we're clear. Well, today was a pretty easy day. Oh, one of those criminals. I'll watch you, buddy, with your little disguise. Your little generic disguise. Oh, about missing my turn. It's part of the plan. He's hoping that I cause a distraction for him. Nice place for a stop sign. Back behind a bunch of shrubs. Alright, let's get going here. Whoa! Thank you for stopping there, buddy. Had a pretty good day at work today. Only had one call, so that was like a really good day for me. And, pretty neat. I go around the corner like this where our police station is, and I freaking did a double take because I looked up in this driveway and there's a awesome, it's like one of those sort of purplish blue colored oh wow, parasailing, and how cool is that? But in the driveway there's this purplish blue 2017 ACURA NSX with a manufacturer plate on it, because it's not even out yet. And I was like, holy crap. So I just stopped my cruiser right in the middle of the road. It's like a residential street, so there's no traffic or anything like that to worry about. But it looks like we need to actually veer up here, kind of. I'm guessing this almost feels like I shouldn't even be taking a truck up here. It almost feels like there should be a sign that says no trucks allowed, but here we go. I didn't see a sign. So I just stopped my cruiser, reverse it back, and I'm busting out my iPhone and taking pictures of this thing. I'll include them here in this video, probably right about now. But anyway, at the end of this video, I'll go ahead and add the video of the guy revving up the engine for me, which is pretty cool. But I'm sitting there taking some photos, and I look, and there's like this big glass window inside this house, and it's just a normal middle-class house, nothing special about it at all. And I saw some movement inside the window, like I could see people taking notice that I had stopped, and so I was like, I better get out and let them know that the popo aren't just taking pictures of the amazing car outside, like as part of an investigation. It's just I'm a fan of freaking awesome cars. What can I say? And it got the better of me. So I get out, and sure enough, the guy comes out of the front door, and it's one of our medics from our township EMT service. So I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I just was on a run with him the other day, like the night before. We went out on a call together, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, so whose car is this? And he's like, oh yeah, it said he says it's my dad's. He works for ACURA. He's an engineer there, and he helped design a couple of the parts for this car. So I guess he had a meeting the next day, and they gave him the car to take to the meeting to show off some of the features to whoever they're meeting with, you know. So they wanted to use this. It's sort of like a demo car, and I was like, that's awesome. But he had the fob. His son had the fob, the paramedic, and he opened up the car for me and started it up. But I think he was a little reluctant to hit the gas. And Dad came out of the house. Turns out he's like a materials engineer or something like that, and it wasn't a mechanical engineer, something different. But he actually designed some of the pieces in the body of the car, or I should say the chassis of the car that connects to the body. And he was explaining it to me, and he says it's kind of like Legos. And I'm looking at it, I go, dude, I've had a lot of Legos in my lifetime, and none of my Legos ever ended up looking like this. He, kind of laughed. So he gets in there. He's like, hey, you can have a seat in there if you want. I'm like, I'm not sitting in there with this duty belt on. I'll end up cutting up your leather or something, scuffing it up, and I don't want to do that. And so he got into the driver's seat and had the passenger door open for me, and he revved it up a little bit, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Even if the neighbors complain, this is going to be worth it. so he revved it up a few times. I got it on video. I'll play that at the end of this episode here, which I can feel everyone just stopping and going straight to the end and completely missing the rest of this episode. But it'll be there. If you watch the entire episode, it'll still be there, I promise. Let's get our job here. So he proceeds to take me around to the GPS symbol. That means that's the job that I've selected. So someone in the comments mentioned that and pointed out that's what that means. So if you see one of these jobs with GPS, that means that's the one that it's currently leading you to. So good to know. All right, let's take this job here. All right, our job's ready. Let's head towards the green trailer. I think it's going to be down here somewheres. Gotta go one more? Probably one more. Looks like, I think I see some trailers back here. All right, so anyway, he takes me to the back of the car and opens up the trunk, and the engine's right there. It's mid-engine, so it's in front of the trunk, but behind the seats and the firewall of the car, and which is pretty nice. And then he proceeds to proudly tell me about how they actually designed the trunk for which there isn't much trunk to it, honestly. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of groceries back there, but that's about it. But you know what, for a sports car with that type of high performance, it actually had quite a big trunk. But he said they specifically designed it so that it could accommodate a bag of golf clubs. So I was like, you know what? I said, let me stop you right there. I said, the people that drive these cars do not take their golf clubs to and from the golf course. They leave them at the golf course and in their own personal lockers, where they get cleaned by golf course personnel after they're done playing. Oh, look at him. He's cleaning up the crime scene, isn't he? He's even got his OSHA safety vest on. Albeit we don't use orange anymore, buddy. We're using neon yellow. But I said, so yeah, that's kind of pointless. I don't really know why you're doing that, because and they don't call them golf courses, they call them country clubs when you're dealing with these types that can afford this car. Turns out the car is $150,000. That's what they're about, is what they're expecting it to be listed as. It's 550 horsepower, all-wheel drive. It has, I think it was either 3 or 4 electric motors. Probably 4, probably one for each wheel, I don't know. But has electric motors, several of them at least, to assist in getting the car moving. So it's technically it's a hybrid, but I guess it just absolutely accelerates like nothing else. And the whole body's carbon fiber. And what else was there? I think that was pretty much it. I said, so I understand the concept that you're explaining about the golf clubs, but what really matters is your glove box dimensions, and whether or not your glove box dimensions will accommodate multiple speeding tickets, because that's really what you're going to be collecting in this car. And I'm down there looking at the interior ogling the car, and I said, man, I tell you what, if I had this car for a half an hour, I would be collecting so many speeding tickets. And the medic looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, but you get some leeway there, don't you?" And I said, "Man, I don't get that much leeway. I would end up in handcuffs if I decided to stop." I said, "That's probably the real crime, is not stopping." So I guess one of the strategies, and I probably should have done it here, is before you take a job, go sleep and fill up your tank. So you should do that between every job. I was a little bit excited to tell you guys this story, so I completely forgot to do that. It's been a few days since I played ATS, and I'm looking forward to this run. It's going to be a long one. 12 hours, 19 minutes is our ETA. We're definitely going to need to sleep on the way there, but it shouldn't affect our arrival time. We should be fine. Normally on a haul like this, it's kind of a longer distance. They build in sleep time into the arrival time. But anyway, everyone got a nice laugh out of that, because I tell you what, that is what most people be getting, is speeding tickets in that thing. But I really missed the NSX when they stopped making it back in the 90s. I was kind of sad to see it go, because the car apparently was, it was one of the ones that like all the race car drivers wanted to have, or did have, when they were as their personal cars, because they said, it was really well balanced, lightweight, just really good pound for pound performance. And anyway, he was describing to me what he did, and basically it's like there's one area of the chassis that sticks out that has these protrusions, and he designed some sort of connector that connects the chassis to the body at these different areas. I think there's like 4. Oh, cut that one a little tight. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, fertilizer. Hopefully nobody notices that you're damaged fertilizer. But he was explaining basically like the protrusion. They put in this wood, and then they attach it to the chassis, and then they weld it. And so I'm like, oh, so basically what you're telling me is this car is carbon fiber with an aluminum body. So it's a carbon fiber, aluminum, wooden car. He's like, well, yeah, kind of. It's balsa wood. I said, oh, so it floats. So now this car is like an amphibious car. Never noticed that on the commercials. Okay, let's check here. Let's get going. Try to swing wide if we can. There we go. It'd be nice once we make it over to the. I think we need to turn right here, actually. This is tight in here. These are some tight roads. Wow. It's all curvy, too. Whoa. Up onto the curb we go. That's okay. Don't worry, those curbs will be just fine. But hopefully we don't have any oncoming traffic, because I didn't see any one-way signs. So I'm thinking this technically is a two-way road. Technically. Also, other news that's happened. Had a little chat with Squirrel in email. Just basically seeing if he could give me a little shout out here and there with the ATS series, and he did. He gave me a like on the first video there, so that's probably why you see a disproportionate amount of views on the Crazy Eyes episode 1 video. But yeah, we were just talking strategy and channel growth and that sort of thing. I tell you what, I sent him about a 4-paragraph email, just kind of giving an update on what's going on with the channel, and telling him, his channel growth has been pretty phenomenal, and just really glad that he's been able to step up, go from semi-professional, like semi-full-time to, or I guess part-time to full-time. And just wanted to congratulate him on that. And he responded with an equally long email. So I mean, he's a really nice guy. And it was like he responded within like I mean, and we're talking about somebody that has like 200, at least, I don't know what it is now, but last time I checked, I think it was about 250 subs, maybe 300,000 subs. Sorry, 250,000 or 300,000 subs. And, downshift one there. Nope. Let's see if we can actually start. That's a good gear, okay. Might need to go one at a time on this hill, actually. I'm used to going up 2 gears at a time, but it seems like one's going to be plenty. Might actually have to downshift here. This is a pretty steep grade. But he got back with me like within 24 hours. Let me send an email to him. And anyway, good guy. If you haven't seen his channel or seen his, if you want to watch ATS live streamed, he live streams almost every day, it seems like, at least every other day, and then he does it on Sundays when I'm getting ready for work, which is always just rubbing salt in the wound. It's like legendary Sunday night trucking with Squirrel. For me, it's 2 p.m. and I work at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and so I'm looking at my phone and it sends me an alert. It's like, Squirrel is now live streaming, and I'm like, you son of a gun, I wish I was in your shoes right now. Nope, I'm going to work right now. Well, technically he's at work, but I'm going to work where I actually have to go to work, and I can't do it in my pajamas. Oh, I think we rest. I think that's what we do here. Because look, see, we're almost completely blue. Might as well do it, right? Let's see if we can just do it right here. Will it let us? Why is it not letting? Do I need to go one more? Oh, I need to go over one more. Alright, let's see if we can back this up without killing everybody on the roadway. I thought it was here where those vacuums were. Oh well, I guess like I needed to go forward one more parking lot here. Probably where it's glowing and saying rest area. Alright, that works. Let's try not to sleep 2 times in a row here. Wait, that's not right. Missed my key. Where's my key at? There it is. Enter to rest. Alright, we're getting some rest. So yeah, check out his live stream. He does a good job of it. Let's not hit enter again. Let's start up our engine. There we go. Okay. I almost did it. I almost hit enter again. My finger was hovering above it. Expected Saturday, 5:30, 1 p.m. Sunday. What day is it right now? Oh, so we have 3 hours and 16 minutes left, is what it's saying there. So it's Saturday, 9:40 p.m. Oh, that's my ETA. What time is it now? Oh, it's Saturday, 11 a.m. So we're good. All right, let's go. So it didn't hurt us not to rest before we took that job. I can't really see too well behind me, I don't think. Oh yeah, I can. Actually, I can with this cab. This is kind of nice. Coming out, buddy. Thank you. Thanks. Toot toot. I'm tooting my own horn there. But yeah, check out his live stream and give him some support and let him know that ACURA sent you. He'll be like, who? No. But for somebody that has a channel that big, honestly, he gets a lot of correspondence, all different ways, Twitter, emails, all that stuff, and you know, he's running a business at this point. So I told him, I said, you know, if you're getting too big and too busy to help out a little old channel like mine with you know, shout outs or likes or anything like that to his feed, I said, I completely understand. There's probably got to be a time where you say you got to implement a policy like that, but you know, I tip my hat to him. I just hope it doesn't come at any type of detriment towards his channel. Definitely don't want that. I don't know, I guess that's about it. It's been going on. trying to think if there's been any real interesting stories. I inadvertently figured out that I am considered a competent... Oh, what the heck was that? What was that? Oh, it was my loan installment. I thought I got fined for something. I was like, I don't need my headlights on right now, do I? I mean, this is California. They got some strange laws. But I inadvertently found out that I am considered a competent reporter to the coroner when I report time of death. It happened to be, I went out on that medic call with the guy whose dad is the engineer for the NSX, and this was yesterday. This wasn't tonight, and I had a dead body a few days ago, and it was pretty obvious when you walked into the house and you saw the guy. He died of old age, basically. He's 84, and when I saw the body, he's gray and cold to the touch, no pulse, and rigor mortis had set in, so it was like pretty obvious. And anyway, I was at this medic call, and the medic comes up and he's like, "Hey man, I'm surprised you didn't call." He goes, "I didn't know you were allowed to pronounce death." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you had that dead body, and we were waiting for you to call us to come out and confirm the death." And I was like, "Oh man, well, it was pretty obvious he was dead. I mean, if he would have came to life, I would have probably screamed zombie and shot him in the head at that point. Yeah, the apocalypse would have been occurring." But I said, "Yeah, I didn't even think twice about it." I said, "My old department, there's and I had a lot more dead bodies that I dealt with at my old department over the last 10 years. I said, there were times where it was pretty obvious. I mean, bloated bodies, real smelly, like houses you walk in and you just immediately open up all the windows. Like before you do anything else, you just turn off the turn off the heat, open up all the windows, or turn on the AC or whatever, and get the fans going outwards just to eliminate the odor. If they've been there for going on a week or something like that." And I said, "This wasn't that bad, but it was very obvious he was dead." And I said, "Yeah, I didn't even think twice about it, man, because I've done it before and just, gone through the steps and made sure nothing looked suspicious, and then call the coroner or call dispatch, have the coroner call me on my cell phone or whatever, and then just advise him of the facts and his medical history and prescriptions that he's on, that sort of thing, and then the coroner will say yay or nay whether they're going to come out and they want to claim the body for an autopsy, or come out and do an exam on it, or just release the body to the family and allow them to call the funeral, have them call the funeral home of their choosing, which we do for them. We'll ask dispatch to go ahead and make that call for them, but we always ask them, "Hey, who do you want to come pick up the body?" So anyway, I'm like, "What, man? I didn't even think twice about it." He's like, "Yeah, we were sitting there in the medic house waiting for you to call, because I saw it pop up on a computer screen and I saw you say that it was a signal 16, which is a dead body, and come on, let's get going here." And then you never called for us, and I said, "Man, I don't know. Maybe I violated policy and I didn't realize it, because I've only been at this new department for about a little over a year." Maybe a year and a half actually, and I've only dealt with like 3 dead bodies, and they've all been natural causes. Well, no, one was a suicide, but the other couple were natural causes. And yeah, the medics came out on those, but anyway, but the thing was, they were already dispatched when I was already en route. So this one was a check the welfare, and the family was there, and they were afraid to go inside the house because the guy had some dementia issues, and he had a undiagnosed dementia issues, and he was kind of being hostile towards the family as his condition worsened, and he had at least 1 firearm in the house and possibly 2, and they were worried about going in and ending up getting shot. So of course they call me and they want me to go in the front door to get shot, I guess. I don't know. I got body armor. What can hit me right here in the torso, if you don't mind. It's not going to tickle, but it's not going to hurt as bad as anywhere else. So anyway, we go in there, and yeah, he's gone. One of the family members was actually a registered nurse, and she said it about the same time. "I need to actually get over if I can." Is this guy going to go faster or slower? It looks like he was going to let me in there, but yeah, he actually slowed down, it looked like. But Anyway, she said it about the same time I did. As soon as we went into the room where he was at, she's like, "Oh, he's gone. He's dead." And I guess they were kind of expecting it. You know, it's one of those things where he was just having lots of issues. So anyway, I do my whole thing, and I call the coroner, get all my information ready for him, and he calls me back, and I tell him what's going on. He's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and release the body to the family." So I did, and then went on about my day. You know, did the report, did photos and all that stuff like you always do, just in case something pops up. And I do have a story about that too at my old department. It wasn't involving me, but it was involving another officer or some other officers, where there was more to the story once they actually started examining the body down at the funeral home. But back to the original story. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I did violate policy. I go and I immediately, as soon as we get done with our regular medic call, where he put that seated doubt in my head, I go back and I go to headquarters and I start going through our policy book, and I'm like, okay, death investigation. There's no policy for death investigation. So I'm like, okay, well, I didn't violate policy since there isn't one. Maybe I violated state law. So I bust out the old Google, and I Google pronouncing someone dead, ORC, which is Ohio Revised Code, and there is a section for that. It talks about what the coroner can do and who they can appoint and all that stuff. Well, they have a certain amount of people that are. Oh man, it's gonna be tight. He gonna let me in? He is gonna let me in. Well, they go to a dead stop though. I don't get that. They should just slow down a little bit. But there's a certain group of people that can be considered, but what it says is the coroner can appoint, so it doesn't have to actually be on scene to pronounce somebody dead, or a doctor. They can get the facts of the case recited to them by a competent observer, is how they term it, which could be like a registered nurse, a practical nurse. What else was there? EMTB, I think. EMTI, I think it's beginner, intermediate, paramedic. Get this one, a chiropractor, and then a podiatrist. And I always thought podiatrists were doctors anyway, so I don't understand that one. But yeah, a foot doctor. So anyway, and then the last one was, or somebody else otherwise designated as a competent observer by this other subsection. So I go to that subsection, and it goes through a whole laundry list of things regarding coroners' inquests. They can appoint like stenographers and things like that. And here's a fun little fact for you, at least in Ohio. The only person that can arrest the sheriff of a county is the coroner. And that's why the coroner is an elected position. So they can actually have a coroner's inquest, which is basically an investigation, like a trial. I guess it's kind of like more like a deposition, where they can actually bring in the sheriff and question them. So it's kind of interesting, but the coroner is the only person in the whole county that can actually arrest the sheriff. So there you go. Don't know what you're going to do with that fun little fact, but there you go. And anyway, and then at the very bottom it says the coroner can appoint a competent observer from anybody who's a deputy sheriff or a municipal law enforcement officer. And that was like the very last line, and I was like, whew, okay. So basically what happens is, when I'm reciting the facts to him over the phone and he releases the body, I'm acting as that competent observer. So technically, according to the medics, when he said pronouncing, I didn't know you could pronounce death, well, technically that's incorrect. He can't pronounce death either. He can be a competent observer of the facts and then recite those to the doctor. But I got back to thinking about it, and I'm like, these EMTs that have come out on these scenes, when they hook up their EKGs and verify that there's absolutely no electrical impulses in the body, they never get on the phone and call a doctor. They just say, yeah, he's dead, and then leave the scene. Or they'll, in the case that I described, the medic I was talking to was like, yeah, if we saw what you saw, we wouldn't have even hooked up the equipment. We just looked at him, just touched his arm, felt cold, I mean like 60-degree temperature of the body, and felt absolutely no pulse and rigor mortis, and we would have went, yeah, he's dead. So basically the same thing I did. And then I got to think about it, I'm like, well, they never even called a doctor. So in all these cases prior, where they thought they were actually pronouncing death, they weren't. The officers going out on these scenes were still the ones actually talking directly to the coroner over the phone. So it was one, they can't pronounce death. It's competent observer, and two, we were the ones actually still doing the competent observer. So it was just a little interesting thing that I had to go dig on, and I asked the chief about it. I said, did you know anything about this? And I went through all that, and chief's like, man, I am really glad that whenever you see or you have a question about something, you just start digging into the law about it, because you're sort of like the go-to guy when it comes to understanding statutes and judicial opinions, case law, that sort of thing. And that was kind of nice to hear, because I don't know, I find that stuff interesting. So anyway, in Ohio, yeah, a police officer can actually be a competent observer, and they don't need the paramedics or the medics or a podiatrist or a chiropractor there to pass along that information to the coroner, who ultimately makes the decision. Again, he does not have to be there. The coroner does not have to be there, as long as they have a competent observer acting on their behalf. So, wow, that was probably way more information than you probably ever wanted to know on Ohio death investigation and pronouncement of death. But what can I say? It's a beautiful, sunny California day. Figured we'd just talk about some death. So far, going pretty good. What's our speed limit through here? I haven't even been paying attention to speed limits. I just know that I'm getting 65 now. Oh, it's still 55. Now, see, someone was talking about split speeds, like speed that might be a speed for the cars, and then trucks actually have a lower speed. But in Ohio, we have that, but it's actually if that is the case, there will be two signs there. There'll be 40, like there would be 40, and then it would say something like 30 for trucks over a certain weight. So I think it needs to be properly labeled. Luckily, we have the GPS. Now that the GPS went from 40 to 55 to 35. Do you see that? It's like I can't make up its mind. I know we were going through that. Now will it go up to 55 or what's it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm going with what the navigation system says. Apparently, you can actually eliminate that navigation system altogether. I can't remember what key it was. Somebody told me in the comments, and I read them yesterday, and I can't remember now. So I apologize. You can either decrease like the opacity of that pop-up that I have, so I can just use the one that's actually on the dash just for more realism, or I can make it disappear altogether, and I just use the one that's on the dash actually built into the truck itself, which I think I'll probably do. But I'm not going to start pressing keys right now, because we're doing pretty good. And there's a cop right there, and I'm doing well under the speed limit. I'm pretty happy moving this speed. We're not in any huge hurry. We're going to get there in plenty of time. ETA, Saturday, 10:08 p.m. How are we doing on our, what was it? Yeah, oh yeah. We got until Sunday morning. So we got about a little over 2 hours of wiggle room, looks like. Oh, cloverleaf coming up here. What else is going on? My heater's not working in my Explorer, so it was a cold ride home tonight. It's making a clicking noise, like it puts out plenty of heat, like the blowers, or I shouldn't say heat, but puts out plenty of air. But it's making a clicking noise, like it's trying to switch, like a switch is trying to activate inside the dash, and it's not working. Whatever's trying to switch just keeps clicking, like click, 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 click. When I change the temperature dial, it'll do that, and then it doesn't seem to ever lock in. But it puts out plenty of air. It just happens to be frigid air, which isn't going to be too bad. I mean, spring's just around the corner, so I do know that the AC will work just fine, and I can always put on more clothes. And, you know, it's got 168,000 miles on it, so. My wife's got the nice car. She's got the Jetta TDI diesel with about, I don't know, like 70, 80,000. We've had it for a few years, but love that car. And she's got the nice car, and I'm driving her former car, so I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'll just deal with it. Not much of a complainer. All right, we're gonna try to turn here if possible. I did signal, so. A little bit of Christian motoring, assuming that guy would let me in. And he did. Okay, no oncoming traffic. Uh-oh, that doesn't look so good. That looks like That looks like a sign of things to come for me right there. Oh yeah. It's writing on the wall. Let's check both ways here. Oh yeah, nothing coming that way. Are we really that close, or now we're going on the... Oh, I wish I had some sunglasses. That'd be nice if you could buy some sunglasses, or bring the sun visor down. I don't know. Maybe you can. Oh, I don't think you can. Maybe you can. Huh. I gave you guys an extra long TLD episode also. Hey, John Deere. Nice. Whoa. Just because the other one was cut short when Firewatch was released, I just basically dropped everything we were doing and TLD, did a quick hour nap just to save the game, and left it at an 18-minute episode. So the last one you guys got, I think, was right around, 48 minutes, something like that. I got all kind of whimsical at the end, and tears started flowing. No, it was a fun episode. Actually, it was pretty exciting. I thought I was going to fall off that rope there at one point when I was climbing, but we got really lucky there. So looks like there were some scales over there on the highway. Right now we're just parallel in I-5. And for those of you not from the United States, I stands for interstate, in case you're wondering, which basically means it's a federal highway, a U.S. highway, that runs between states, multiple states normally. So whenever you see, those are the biggest roadways that we have in the United States, are your interstates. Running out of fuel again. How many more miles we got? 44 miles? Oh, man. I didn't think I was going to run out of fuel because I had like over 3/4 of a tank. All right. Well, I think we'll get there. I think we will. I don't know. Maybe not. If not, that's going to be horrible. Oh yeah, we're getting close. I just don't want to be late. Road work ahead. What the heck is this? Red. Oh, was there a red light there? What is this for? Is this my... I don't even... I guess that's somewhere where you pick up some construction equipment or drop off some construction equipment, probably. Oh well. Well, we paid for the fine. We might as well just go. Alright, so you can actually deliver... It probably means we can make a bunch of criminals waiting to use the porta potty. Probably means that we can deliver construction equipment to those construction sites. That's kind of neat. I don't remember seeing that in ETS2. Alright, let's just get there. I thought that was it coming up. I don't know if we're going to get there. We're on... I still see a little yellow bit of fuel there. 19 miles. I think we'll make it. If I build up enough speed, we should be able to just coast in there. I think that's probably where all those lights are up there, is the delivery spot. So I'm not seeing any cops on this road, so we're going to put the hammer down and max out at our top speed of 55 miles an hour. We can max out at the speed limit. Alright, here we go. Feels like I'm really moving here, but I'm really not. Okay, we're going to make it. Alright, over the railroad. Whoa! Okay. Luckily they haven't implemented stop sign violations yet. Well, we're going to make it here. I don't know if we'll make it to the gas station from here, but at least we made this delivery on time. Alright, let's just do the simple parking. I don't even know if I want to do that. I'll probably run out of gas trying to do that. I can always go to the skip, though. I can always opt out of parking now that we're here. So we're here. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to kind of swing a little bit wide here and then cut back as hard as possible. Try not to take out the hay bales. Cut back a little bit here, and I think there we go. Oh, Come on. There we go. Very touchy about that sort of thing. All right. Excellent. Got our full paycheck on that one minus a red light ticket. And we leveled up just barely. So let's go ahead and allocate that to long distance, because I like the long distance runs. It gives me a little bit more time to conversate with y'all. So, all right, we'll turn off that annoying buzzer there. And I guess we'll just go ahead and, yeah, we'll go ahead and end this episode here. I don't know how long we've been going. Let me check. My heads-up display for my recording software magically disappears at random times. It looks like we're coming up around 40-minute marks, thereabout, a little over that maybe. And, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully I have more amazing facts for you about the ORC and all that interesting stuff. CNL ain't all about high-speed pursuits and gun battles. You know what I mean? You got to know when you can say, look at a dead body and go, yep, that's a dead body. Takes a lot of skill, apparently. They even write laws for it. So, y'all take care. Thank you so much, and drive safe out there, everybody. All right, go for it. Fire it up. That's pretty nice.
Oh, it must turn off and you can get out.
Because your key fob got too far away, I bet you.
What?